everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Grandon Group presents The Lockbox, brought to you by the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, and also my killer co-host, Angela, with the VIP team.
Well, hello.
What's going on?
I'm hanging out.
Hey, so we've had a great July so far.
Yeah, a really hot one.
Well, except last week with the rain in the 70s.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Oh, you were gone.
I was.
You were on vacation.
For a little bit, yeah.
Don't you hate that when you go on vacation?
And it's super nice.
And it's super nice.
Yeah. It is kind of humid.
It is a little humid and stuff.
But I welcome it. We needed the rain.
Okay, so I'm a holiday nerd, and the Spirit Store started posting up all their signs that they're going to open. That's the Halloween.
I saw that. That's awesome. Yes.
It's
I'm
great.
excited.
It's going to be a blast.
My daughter is all about it. So as soon as they open, she's like, Mom, ever since she was like 3, she was like, Mom, can we go? And we just, look around. She takes me to all the scary things. And
oh, it's a blast.
I don't like the scary things. So
I love it. I love it.
She does too.
Cannot wait.
It's her favorite holiday. It's crazy.
So what's going on in the mortgage world?
It's actually busy. And I think we're seeing, as much as it's an incredibly competitive market, we are actually seeing more and more contracts get accepted and buyers actually able to get into those homes. So I think it's, I don't want to say this prematurely, but I think it's kind of settling down a little bit to where there's, maybe not 30 offers on a home anymore. And you can probably attest to this more than I can, but, maybe there's like 15.
Right.
So
well, it is stabilizing.
Yeah.
So we got so many people moving here to Arizona. It's crazy. I mean, they still want to move here and stuff like that. So one of the things that people love to do in Arizona is travel. And so they make this a destination, and then once they're here, they move here permanently and stuff.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So do you travel a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot, like a couple times a year. And the one thing about us is we always end up going to the same places. Like we have our, just our routine of what we do in the summer and what we do in the fall and then what we do in the spring. And I always want to venture out and do other things. But I love what we do already, so it's hard to it's hard to do that. It's hard to go, I'm going to go to this place that I've never been to ever in.
And then when you live in Arizona, it's like a vacation nonstop, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your pool, you got your drinks by the pool, stuff like that.
It's like a resort, right?
So
we pretend.
Well, we do. We pretend.
Yeah.
So it's always funny. People move here and they're like, oh, yeah, we're moving to Arizona. It's we've been vacationing there for years, and so they make it a home.
Yeah. And
stuff. So actually, that brings us into our guest today.
Awesome.
So I'm going to mess up the last name. So today we have Sandy Goliszewska.
Close.
How do you say your last name?
You have to break it up in 3 parts.
All right.
Goalie. Chef.
Ska.
Goliszewska.
Goliszewska.
It's got it.
So from Germany and Poland, right? And then moved to Arizona.
That's correct.
Now
I'm here.
So why'd you move to Arizona?
Gosh, so many reasons. I mean, we can all agree that Arizona, 8 months out of the year, the weather's just phenomenal, right? The other months, let's just hope you have good air conditioning and a pool, right? With those margaritas. But I love the diversity of the state. You have the mountains, you have the snow, and then Sedona's absolutely my favorite place.
Wow.
It is.
So Sandy is a avid traveler.
Okay.
So she tries to hit you were talking like 5 countries a year, right?
4 to 5.
4 to 5 a year.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so that's awesome. So and you always come back to Arizona because it's obviously a great place.
Right.
But what's some of your favorite places?
Gosh, all the places I've been to, they each have a special place in my heart. But my top 3 are Philippines, Colombia, and Cuba.
Wow.
How'd
you get into Cuba? I don't think we can go to Cuba, can we now?
There's tricks and tips.
Wow.
We'll talk about that another time.
Coming on segment 2.
Coming in segment 2, how to break into another country. So we actually, Angela knows we were raised on a horse ranch, and we actually raised Polish Arabians.
Oh.
So what was Poland like?
So let me clarify. I'm Polish. I actually never lived in Poland.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Germany.
Okay.
But to your point, I love horses.
Oh, well, perfect.
So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So something in common. How many languages do you speak?
So I speak Polish, a little bit of German, and then I do my best with English.
So cool. When you go around the country, or around the world, I should say, and your favorite place is Cuba and stuff like that, you obviously tell people that you live in the States, in Arizona. What kind of comparisons and contrasts are there? with the people? Do the people love the Cubans? Do they love Cuba? And are they promoting it like people in Arizona are like, man, I love Arizona. You should move here. This is the greatest place. Are they kind of like that in the other countries? Or are they kind of like, oh, I'd like to move out of here?
No, absolutely. The people are just, they love their life. They love their homes, their families, and they are so approachable. They want to show you everything. They want to tell you their life stories. I've had a family invite me over to their home to cook me a meal. They're proud of where they're from, and that's just amazing to see.
Yeah.
That is great.
Really cool. Mm-hmm. What brought you to Arizona in the first place?
Change of scenery. So I kind of grew up in California. I came here to visit some friends, and I loved it.
Okay.
And I told my mom, I was like, okay, I love Arizona. I'm going to pack up my car, pack up my dog, and go. And here I am, 12 years later.
Wow, 12 years in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you've seen quite a few changes out here.
Absolutely.
So where's your next vacation to?
So I have a couple trips that I'm planning, but for sure that's booked and ready to go, Morocco, which I'm super excited about. It's one of my top 3 destinations that I've been wanting to visit for a very long time.
So as a traveler, how do you decide? So like Angela likes to go the same places, and quite honestly, so do I.
No offense, that's boring.
It is. I wish I could be less boring.
But we get so comfortable. That's one of the things with Americans, we become comfortable.
Yeah, well, and I feel like I get a year, every year I go for a week, right, we go to San Diego, and I love San Diego, and it's just we've had a certain experience there, so it's hard to go, okay, well, let's try this other place I've never been to, or maybe I don't know anybody who's ever even been there. I don't want to waste a trip. Does that sound crazy? That's kind of how I feel. Like I already know I'm going to love this place, so
But you might love a new place even more.
I know.
Well, it's tough with kids, though, too.
It is.
So to pack up kids, because how far is Morocco? That's got to be a 20-hour flight?
28.
So 28 hours with kids on the plane is tough.
Yeah. Even the flight itself, I'm a little...
But
flying's not my favorite.
Don't you think, we kind of all, I love the Caribbean. So anytime I can go there, I'll go there.
Yes.
But what motivates you to want to hit these other countries?
Experience and growth. Mm-hmm. They say that travel is the best teacher because it pulls you out of your safe space, right? The things that you're used to, and it throws you into the unknown. So I want to be able to become a storyteller and just experience their culture, meet the people, the food. I love food. I'm a big foodie. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the more countries I go and see, the more I learn, and it makes me grow as a person.
You travel by yourself?
Typically with friends. However, Colombia was my first solo trip, and then 2 months ago I went to Central America. I went solo, and it's actually scary how much I love traveling alone.
Wow.
That's awesome. But you get to do what you want when you want.
Exactly.
And you're kind of...
No schedule.
Right.
You're not fighting with your friends who wants to go here, who wants to do that. You're on your own, and you do what you want.
Do you stay in nice hotels, or do you stay in just kind of those hostels?
So I'm all about experience, right? I will pick one night at a nice hotel, then a hostel, and then I love Airbnbs. The Central America trip, I stayed in this crazy tree house, and it was thunder, no windows, and the whole tree was swaying. It was pretty awesome, but that's what makes the experience. It's amazing.
So you know how people always have their stereotypes? You go to Colombia, you can get cocaine and all this stuff. Is it really like that? I mean, you obviously see.
It's not. And, my mom worries. Every time I go somewhere, she's like, should I take out a life insurance policy on you?
Yeah.
But I think a lot has to do with media, right, and things that we see on the news. My best advice is you just have to go for yourself and experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you study it before you go?
I do. I stay up all night studying. I pick where I want to go, what I want to see, where I want to eat. So I'm very detailed as far as what my trip will be composed of.
Do you think, Angela, she has a strong stomach eating some of those foreign foods?
She must.
Oh, my gosh.
She has to, right?
And you know what? So when it comes to food, not only will I eat the regular food, but I want to try the nasty bugs, anything. I will do it. I know it's a little weird, but I'll try it.
So is there anything that you've liked?
That I've liked?
Yeah, where you're like, oh, there's no way I'm going to eat a scorpion, but it's good.
No, I've yet to find that.
Have you done rattlesnake yet?
I have.
So you've tried the Arizona stuff?
I have, of course.
Have you tried rattlesnake?
No.
Or Rocky Mountain oysters?
You know what I did have? I was in Sedona a couple weeks ago, and I tried for the first time. It was like, this could be wrong, but like fried cactus or something. Fried prickly pear,
Yep,
I think
they
it
have the
was.
Prickly pear?
Mm-hmm. So delicious. I'm not joking.
No, I'm a native, so I've heard
I am not joking.
It's like a fruit?
Yeah. No, it's just, I don't know. Anything fried is good, right? I mean, am I the only one in this boat? No. It's fried. Good. It was almost like, I don't even want to like compare it to a French fry, but it was like of that consistency. So it was just like, and it was with some kind of spicy sauce. It was
similar to a fried
good.
tarantula.
Oh.
Wow. Have you had a fried tarantula before?
Oh, my
Wow.
God. No.
What's that like?
Fried.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, mine was
Dip it in a little
plant. Not a little critter.
soy sauce, little salt and pepper.
So that's great. So you get
cool.
out there and you actually communicate with the people and really
I do
fit
my
in there?
best, right? So Cuba was a huge language barrier. Most of the countries I've been to, we can talk through things. Sometimes I have to use my Google translating app, but for the most part, it goes okay.
Well, and she's not a normal traveler either. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm sure they see her coming like, wow.
She's like, yeah,
This
she knows
fashion
what
from
she's
the
doing.
US.
Yeah, no kidding. Has there ever been a time where you were like worried or concerned for your safety while you were traveling?
In the treehouse.
Actually, I was very
In the
scared.
tree.
Yeah.
No, not really. I always say be a smart traveler, right? Be aware of your surroundings. Don't pull out your fancy stuff. Don't stand out. You want to blend in with,
Okay.
the people or wherever you are. However, when I was in Costa Rica, I was driving by myself and I was determined to find this waterfall. And I drove into this road and it said, okay, 58 more minutes on this dirt rock road. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. This doesn't feel right. I'm just going to turn around and go back. Well, as I turned around, I backed the car into a ditch. And I was in the middle of nowhere. The wheels were spinning. And I'm like, great, like what's going to happen? But luckily, I mean, the people in Costa Rica, they're so wonderful. A couple of men stopped and they actually pushed the car out. But for a split second there, I was like, okay, what do I do?
I'm in trouble.
So that brings up a good point.
Yeah.
So people come to Arizona. It's great especially when they come from, sorry, New Yorkers, but the New Yorkers come to Arizona and the first thing they buy is a cowboy hat and a pair of boots.
I know. Isn't that cool?
It is, isn't it? So when you say fit in, I mean, you're obviously not doing are you studying it to know what they're actually wearing instead of the tourist stuff? Like, so if I go to Hawaii, I put a Hawaiian shirt on, I look like a total idiot.
No, I mean, it's just blending in. It doesn't mean what you're wearing, but how you're acting. I always never wear any jewelry. I don't pull out my iPhone because you got to remember, some of these countries that you go to, they don't have iPhones, right? They don't have what's to us considered normal everyday items. Right. Those sort of things make you stand out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a good.
That makes
these
sense.
are things you don't think about.
Things that, everyday things for us, right? We wouldn't think twice.
No,
Exactly.
absolutely. Now, so
Yeah,
what about
makes
like
sense.
the laws? Are you ever worried about breaking the law accidentally?
I haven't yet.
That you know of.
That I know of. So Singapore is a beautiful, beautiful country. Strict laws and extremely clean. And I'm glad that I read the laws before going because chewing gum and throwing the gum is illegal.
Wow.
Oh.
Because they want to keep it clean. So things like that, things that you think might be normal,
Right.
wouldn't be okay in other countries.
Wow. Did you know that?
No.
You'd be in jail.
I don't throw my gum. I put it in the garbage.
That's the country where they smack you with that board with the holes in it. I think a while back a kid took a poster. Is that the country?
No, that was North Korea. Are you talking about the college?
Right.
Yeah, that was in North
North
Korea.
Korea's the wrong country.
Oh,
So that's
darn.
one place
See?
I won't go. Not that I want to steal a poster. Just
Yeah.
So how many countries have you been to?
23.
Wow.
23. Yeah.
And are you going to write a book on this stuff?
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, you have to share your experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where's the worst place you've been? Just based on experience, not because it was just a bad place, but maybe it is. Who knows?
Jason, to be honest, I I can't tell you because, like I said, each place has special things about it. And I've been lucky as far as traveling goes. Nothing's bad ever happened to me. I haven't had any bad experiences or interactions. So I don't have one.
Well, you sent me 3 pictures, and there was one where you were standing on, I think it was Turkey, and it with all the balloons in the background.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That was
Cappadocia,
so pretty.
Turkey.
Wasn't that pretty?
Yes.
So, are those photoshopped, or was that actually balloons?
No, it is not.
I have to Photoshop me skinny.
No, it is not photoshopped. So in Cappadocia, about anywhere 100 to 200 balloons a day, every morning, weather permitting, will fly, starting at 5 a.m. So you get to see that every day if the winds are fine.
That's in Turkey?
That's in Turkey.
And is that something that they just do there? Like people are in those balloons, or
Yes.
how does that work? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not just for looks. It's
No.
Yeah.
Almost every hotel will sell
Wow.
a balloon tour.
Okay.
And most of the time, the baskets are packed. I mean, my basket, there was, I think, 15 people in them.
Wow.
That is crazy. And then
That
the
is
other one,
crazy.
you were at a waterfall or something. Or you were dancing somewhere. And, I don't know. I can't see the pictures on there. But you sent me a couple others. And I think one was Portugal.
There was Portugal, and I definitely sent you the one in the Philippines where I'm standing in the water on top of a rock.
Right. Yeah, that Philippines looks like a fantastic
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, so that's why it's my number one favorite country of all time. That was a hell of a, can I say hell? Hell of a trip.
Why not? A whole trip.
It took me, to get to my destination, it took me 6 flights, a boat, and a tricycle to get to my hotel. It was way out in the
Wow.
boonies.
I don't know if I could do that, especially with kids.
I've never been on a tricycle. Well, maybe
When you were younger?
when I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, as an adult, I didn't. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's their taxis.
Yeah.
Pretty
So,
much.
so
cool.
when you tell these people you're from the States, does that make you automatically interesting to them? Or is there anybody that's like, we don't even want to deal with you?
So, funny story. Turkey was not a fan.
Okay.
And then me and my girlfriend at the time were like, let's say Canada. And then people, literally, the shop owners and restaurants, they're like, Canada, we love Canada. And they were like, come in, you know, we give you a drink, you know, all that stuff. So I realized that for some reason, Turkey, for us, I can't speak for everyone, they weren't too fond of
the U.S.
the U.S.
But it's a beautiful
Interesting.
country, though, right?
Oh, I loved it.
And how about Greece?
Haven't been.
Oh,
wow.
I see. That's one I would love to do.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
like to see that, all the white and blue
Yeah.
stuff like that. That would be great.
So, have you been to Poland? 'Cause
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how is that?
I haven't been in the last 5 years, and
Okay.
you know, my dad and my grandma, who both lived there, they're like, you know, we see your pictures on Facebook. You're going to all these places. When are you going to come here? And I'm like, there's not
Yeah.
enough time in the world. I love Poland. I
Okay.
mean, those are my roots.
Yeah.
The food's amazing. The vodka is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just a very beautiful country, and if it's mostly overlooked by travelers
Okay.
or people who want a vacation. Usually, it's
Yeah.
Italy. Greece, right? But it's rare that I see individuals actually going to Poland.
Yeah. I think
So,
that's
so
cool.
when you travel, do you pick areas that are tourist areas, or do you purposely get areas that are not necessarily? Like, if you were coming to Arizona, would you say, "Oh, I'm going to stay in Scottsdale," which is a
No.
big vacation?
No.
You'd want to be out in like Buckeye.
Maybe not Buckeye. So for me, yeah, I try to avoid the tourist spots, big cities as well, just because it's so touristic and everything's overpriced. I've noticed that the food is not as good, so I try to venture out to the less discovered places.
That's
That's
great.
awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Okay,
is really cool.
your favorite food of all the countries?
So, definitely Asian food. I love Southeast Asia. I love noodles. I'll eat them for breakfast, for dessert, lunch and dinner. So definitely Asian food, whether it's Indonesian, Filipino, Japanese. That's definitely my favorite food.
Now, do you have enough experience knowing that if it's Asian from the south or the north and all that stuff?
Sometimes it's a little difficult to distinguish, but for the most part, I can do it.
That's so cool.
What do you think?
I need to travel more.
Please do.
All right.
No, I think
in.
that's great. So now, are
Yeah.
you doing this as just kind of before you decide to quote unquote settle down and stuff, or do you ever see yourself settling down? Or even better, would you like to find somebody just to travel with all around?
So I think I'm settled down. I mean, having a partner to travel with would always be nice. However, I am very happy and content doing what I'm doing now. And if I meet someone who can join me on my adventures, even better.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
That is awesome. You've inspired me, for sure.
It is.
I do want to get to Poland, though. So my grandma is from Poland.
Really?
She lives here now, but yeah. So born and raised, yeah.
Have you had pierogies?
Yes, yeah.
They're amazing, right?
Yeah.
Pierogies are good.
After this segment, I'm going to see if, I want her to speak to me in Polish to see
you
if
can
I know
speak
what
to it.
she's
Do you know
saying.
Polish?
I do.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Co chcesz, żeby ja do ciebie powiedziałam?
Okay, yeah. I don't know that one.
Hey, do you know, I think Costco has a sale on Polish hot dogs.
Oh, nice.
Are those really?
Kielbasa.
The kielbasa, right.
Yeah.
So does American change the food? They say it's Mexican food, for example, but it's really not. Is that how it is in America? Are you, like, if you
Polish
go,
food?
no, just
Or
anywhere.
any country,
Yeah, any
yeah.
country. When they say you're eating, I don't know, Philippine food, is it really Philippine food or is it different?
Is it like Americanized? Is that
Right,
what you're
exactly,
saying? Yeah.
Americanized.
No. It's definitely, it's the true thing. So, for example, pad thai noodles here, you can order the spicy level, right? When I went to Thailand, there was no such thing.
Right.
It's all
So-
spicy.
No spice.
There's no spice.
No
Oh,
spice.
wow. So is it real
Oh.
bland?
No, it still had flavor, but even when I asked for spicy, they kind of, maybe it was just that specific restaurant. I can't say that it's all of Thailand. But yeah, that's one thing. I was like, that's so weird because that's standard in the States. You order
Yeah.
the pad thai and then you get a spice level to it. And that didn't happen for me.
Interesting.
So now living here in Arizona and stuff, you run into a lot of people that travel. So you probably are always talking about travel, and obviously you're super fashionable. So
Thank you. Yeah, and my coworkers and my employees are probably sick and tired of me talking because all I talk about is travel.
I think that's great. You do need to write a book, though, because don't you think it's a
Agreed.
little selfish if she keeps all these stories to herself?
Incredibly. Yes.
Yeah, see that? Don't be selfish.
Okay,
Write
Yeah,
a book.
you-
I'll put that on
Write
my
a book.
to-do list.
Hey,
Yes,
and besides that,
put
in
it
here,
on your
there's people that
to-do
can
list.
help.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
No, you should. That's great.
You should.
So what else can you tell people about the travels?
So, one of the things that I always say is that, and I think I said this earlier, about travel is one of the greatest teachers out there, right? For me personally, it has helped me grow and develop, and it grounds me. I've been to many countries where and it's a sad situation, but I've been to places where people live on so little and they don't have much, but they're incredibly happy. And it really takes you back, and it grounds me to realize that we what we have here, we should really not take it for granted.
Right. So we're really a spoiled country.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, see?
Yeah.
And so, and the media and stuff, is it like the political scenes and all that stuff, is it totally different there? People just don't have anything and they just have to depend on their own skills to survive?
Exactly. Yep.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, this was awesome.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
I did too. Seriously, you motivated me. If I could get past the flight, I think I could go somewhere.
No, that is. Do you
Further,
break the
yeah.
flights up when you do those 28-hour flights, or do you just do
Oh
it at
yeah,
once?
you have to. There's no flight that will take you for 28 hours straight.
No, but I mean, do you take like a day off somewhere and just take a break?
No, I go no breaks.
Yeah.
No breaks. You
That's
just got to
great.
push through.
Right.
See, I would never look at someone like Sandy and say, "Oh, wow, I bet you she's like this Indiana Jones of the world."
Yeah, I know, right?
Is it?
I know.
That's great. And traveling by yourself and stuff?
Yeah, that's so cool.
So that's great that you have that kind of ability. That's one thing that's great about a lot of the people we run into out here in Arizona. They all end up here, but
Yeah.
then they're, venturing around the world.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
so cool.
So, okay, so Morocco this year.
Morocco this year.
And what-
Super
where else?
excited. Mexico, which I've been to Mexico many times, but Mexico is pretty big, right? So I want to be able to explore some new areas I haven't been to, and then I'm thinking maybe Bahamas or Belize. Not sure yet.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Bahamas awesome, by the way. I love the Caribbean.
Bahamas,
And
yeah.
I haven't been.
yeah, you got to
I
get
haven't
there.
either.
Turks and Caicos, Jamaica. Jamaica's fantastic. So that's
Very
great.
cool.
Well, so if people, do you have a website people can check out? Or do
So
they just...
I do not have a website, but I am on Instagram, and my handle is Miss_Sandy, which is Sandii.
And guys, she can handle herself. So be nice, right?
Yes, for sure.
So Angela, how people reach out to you, so they need to get pre-qualified still in this market.
Absolutely. So if you want to get pre-qualified, you can call us 623-979-5523 or by email hendrickteam@vipmtginc.com.
Hey, let me ask you, can people borrow money against their house to travel?
Yes, absolutely.
Like a home equity line or something?
Yeah.
They should.
They should. Absolutely. You should.
No, you should. And,
No, you can.
in fact, it's good to reach out to people like Sandy. So before I go anywhere, if I'm going to Morocco or something, I'm going to call you up ahead of time.
And you know what? A lot of people say, how can you travel so much? It's expensive. Even my own boss, he approves my time off, right? So he's like, where do you get all this money? But there's definitely so many deals out there where you can travel very, very cheaply.
Oh, so you shop around and stuff?
Absolutely. So, for example, I scored a flight I booked so many I forget, but next year I'm going to Japan. I was able to score a round-trip flight from Phoenix to Tokyo for $225.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
All
So
right.
you just sit on the internet and wait for those deals? Or
I get email alerts.
Oh, so
Nice,
it's good.
even
So you would
better.
suggest people sign up for these different sites. That's actually really $220.
That's
$220
Round trip?
amazing.
Round trip?
That's great. And then
That's
what
incredible.
about like hotel and all that stuff? Do you just book that separately, or do you wait for a deal?
Yes, I book it separately.
Is it easy to book in hostels?
It is. So when I say I stayed in hostels, I still won't share a room with 45 people or how many people are staying there. I will still always get my private room, but it's nice to, especially if you're solo traveling, it's nice to mingle with others in the common areas.
No, that's great.
That is so cool.
See, isn't it amazing how many different things we get to see?
I know. It's cool.
Get out there, you guys.
Okay.
That's perfect. Sandy,
Gonna
tell
do
them
it.
again how to reach out to you so they can ask questions about all these countries.
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Miss_Sandy, and that's Sandii.
That's awesome.
Perfect. Love
Angela,
it.
they need pre-quals.
Pre-quals, Call the Hendrick team, 623-979-5523.
Hey, and then the other thing before we, sign off on this, there's a ton of mortgage people out there, and everybody has different programs. So I know we sent a couple people over this week, and programs they never heard of before, and that you guys got it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Call, find out your options, and really we just have the conversation. We find out, with every client what they need and how we can help, and we do the best to help get them to where they want to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
People are going to call and they're going to say, hey, we want to buy a house in Morocco. Thought they were buying one here. So, Sandy, thanks for coming out today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great having
Yes,
you.
so
Angela,
great.
always good seeing you.
Thanks.
Hey, and for those of you looking for a, buy or sell a house here in Arizona, make sure you call Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, the Grandon Group. Thanks again for watching an episode of The Lockbox. We'll see you guys next week.